This magnificent place is known by the locals as Château del Serge. The translation would be the Castle of the Sisters. The Bernard sisters lived in it. During the recording, I thought that the small house next to it was for guests. Was I wrong? After investigating, I found out that it was the caretaker's house. In fact, they were the last tenants of the place, being the last ones to leave the property. The Bernard sisters lived alone in the mansion. They never got married, and they were never apart from each other. They were previously raised in the mansion with their parents and siblings. They were 5 siblings, a total of 4 women and only 1 man. Over the years, they all got married and left the family home, with only the 2 eldest sisters remaining in it. Both their siblings and their nephews visited them whenever they could. This photo reflects that special bond between siblings that they had, probably the last photo they took together. But the Bernard sisters had the company of a married couple who acted as caretakers. And they clearly helped the sisters in every way they could. The end of this story is uncertain, because even though I have the full names of the sisters, I couldn't find any death records. So death was not the reason for the abandonment. Maybe one of them got sick and could no longer take care of herself, sentencing her to live in a nursing home. But the sisters had never been separated, and they weren't going to do it in the last stage of their lives. Maybe both of them went into the nursing home so they wouldn't be separated. The only thing that's certain is that the caretakers didn't leave the property when the sisters left. They stayed on the property until 2011. That's when we lose all trace and information about the place. A few months after my visit, I found out that the property was being prepared for sale. They emptied and thoroughly cleaned it. What do you guys think? Really, how could this story have ended? I'm going to show you a beautiful house that we have right here. It had a huge garden. But before seeing the house, there's another building over here, back there in the distance. And that's what we're going to see first. I don't know if they used it as a storage room or what. Look, this would be the main entrance door to the property. A huge house. And a bed. There is a bed. It will be the guest house. It would be an amazing guest house. That even had a guest house. Is this a shower? Yes. A shower? And a dining room. They had enough, huh? Fridge, stove, everything was very small, but for a guest house, they had absolutely everything. Wow, check out the detail of the yogurt and the tea. As if they were running out of this house. And the same over there, as if there were 2 people here having breakfast, and for some reason they left everything behind and ran out. Here we have some yogurts, and they've expired since 2011. They even had an upstairs. This part here, they would use it as a wardrobe to keep clothes here. Wow. 3 more beds. This pot here is in bad condition. Well, if this is the guest house, just imagine what the main street we're going to now will be like. Wow, what stairs they had at the main entrance. It's already open over here. A glassed-in area, probably to spend the summer days. I'm looking over there. There are lots of things scattered on the floor, but look at what we have here. A piano? Wow, this corner is beautiful. And here, an old armchair. On hot days, they'll probably take it out to the garden to sunbathe. Look, check out the vase. I hadn't noticed it before. Beautiful vase. And completely intact. They had all of this filled with little plants. And that teapot looks like they used it as a watering can, sewing utensils it seems. And below, more, aren't those curlers? Look at this little pantry they had here. And they had it overflowing. Check this out, 2012. The expiration date is more or less the same as the one we saw in the house. And when did they leave food? Something must have happened for them to abandon the house. Look at the little kitchen they had out here, which I don't know if it's the only one they had, or if this is the one they used to cook when they came out here, to this little terrace they built for themselves. Let's try to get down from here without killing ourselves and keep going. This part is also in very good condition. In this part here, they probably ate during the winter days or on days when it was very cold, and the rest of the year they would use the terrace we saw earlier. Obviously older people lived here. They left practically everything, if not everything, because food, clothes. The entire house was furnished. Here we find what appear to be more organic remains. So they would have left with the table set, so to speak. They would have run away from here. Now we're getting to this part here, which you can already see there. On one side, the record player. And the fireplace to keep warm. It's a shame that it's falling apart because there's a leak above and it's destroying the house. Look at the chair that was there. It's completely fallen apart. It was an armchair. It's completely ruined. Just like this whole shelf. All the books are ruined. The little stool to rest your feet, to keep them up. Here we have another photograph with quite a few people in it. It looks like it's from a school or something like that. I'm sure. Now we're going to see the rest of the house. I think we'll see it soon. Maybe a room like the one back there. And here they had one of the entrances. Wow, a photograph. And it seems one of the most recent ones we've seen. Look at on the railing. It's made out here, right at the door. On the outside railing, I don't know if you can see it. Could you show a picture of the outside railing? Obviously, all the elderly people who, as of today, are probably deceased. That's likely how their house looks now. It's quite sad and unfortunate. All their memories are at the mercy of anyone who wants to come and steal or destroy them. Because, as you can see, they've come and turned everything upside down. Although there are still many rooms that are fine, and halls. But they've taken everything that had any value. They ripped out the radiator and tossed it on the bed, likely planning to take it. Nevertheless, they couldn't strip the house of its essence. That one day there was life in this house. And you can tell from every corner. Look, it's the lady who appeared before, and she's also leaning on the railing outside. They had a beautiful garden, likely enjoying spending their days outdoors. All the jars for self-care. And to look beautiful. Look at this photograph. Which is from a first communion. Were they having their first communion or something like that? Because of the clothing, although I had never seen it before, it's a bit strange. And a Jesus Christ here? Take a look at this painting. It kind of tells the story of life. At 10 years old, at 20 years old, at 30, 40, 50. Right? The course of life. How we have children, how we take care of our kids, how we end up taking care of our grandchildren, and how, when we get older, we can't take care of ourselves anymore, and they end up leaving us alone. I hope this isn't the story that this couple who lived in this house experienced. Even though it's hard, it's the harsh reality, and we end up completely alone in our later years. Even after having done all this for others, the ending will always be the same. It's a shame. Beautiful furniture. Cool. Look at the wardrobe. And the bed. I'd like to show you more, but it's full of stuff. Ah, look, there's a basement there. Let's go down to the basement and then we'll get ready to go up to the first floor. I don't know what we're gonna find in the basement. Because seeing some parts upstairs, well, they had a lot of little things stored here. Yes, everything was stored, even firewood. Well, everything they didn't need they would bring down here. Wow, look at this detail. Some socks hanging that have probably been here for years. The whole pantry. With a lot of food, you see? That's what I was telling you before. When you leave a place, at the very least, you take the food with you. And down there, more and more. And when you leave a place, you take your clothes and your food. Even if you abandon your home, you still take your clothes and your food. It's crucial to bring them along. And here it seems they also left food on the plate and more cans, just cans everywhere. He had everything full of cans. To reuse them, he even had empty bottles of alcohol. Look, he had several empty bottles of alcohol here, thinking that someday he would try to make use of them. They left the fridge full of food. Let's get out of here already. There's food everywhere. How prepared was this couple? I mean, they had this room full of firewood, and then all of this here too. Firewood, fine firewood, and inside there they had the big logs, which they probably used to light the fireplace. I'm going to throw it on the big logs, so as I said, let's go upstairs and I'll show you the first floor. Look, even in iron 23, and everything is super organized. What am I saying? 3, there's another one there, 2 more here, and 2 more here. Oh my, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 irons. I had 8 irons. Wouldn't you like to throw anything away? And the stairs look beautiful from down here. As soon as we go up, we come across a closet full of clothes. And everything we've seen so far was women's clothing. Look, here we have another photograph. And we move on to this other room where there are definitely more details left. Although also, as I was telling you, there's a huge leak that runs through the whole house. Notice that plants are growing in here. I would say I don't know if this picture is from a first communion or a wedding because she's very young, but well, people used to get married very young back then. Look at the dressing table she had, with the flowers, and there are wilted ones in the vases. Let's cautiously try to get closer there. There's another photograph, but this one looks much older. And here we have another one. Beautiful image. What a beautiful roll. And they put it on the doors too. Wow, it's the most beautiful room I've seen in the house. And the most complete. Even a baby stroller, an old stroller. All the fireplaces that I haven't mentioned to you, as you can see, are made of marble. Look at this beautiful oil lamp. Look at the hair. There is hair on the comb. And look at this wedding picture. Here are more pictures. They made a kind of collage with a lot of photos. I was impressed by the detail of the hairs on the comb. On top of that, look, they're white. Well, that over there looks like the kitchen. Look at the bathroom. All filled with the plastic flowers she would have around the house. The house. Ah, look, here she had a shower tray. And here, the bathtub. Are we going to move this from here? Ah. Well, this isn't the kitchen. It's a living room, a dining room. Oh, right, yes, the kitchen was here. This was the kitchen. As you can see, it's in very bad condition because of the leaks in the building. As you can see, there are quite significant holes in this room. But well, they would cook here and here, and probably spend their days eating here. This is where they would usually eat. Even with a high chair for a small child, for when they had to take care of one of their grandchildren. Oh, here, the state. The condition of the entire ceiling and floor is quite unfortunate. Look at the holes. Look at the floor, all that orange. That's escarcoma. For now, I don't hear any creaking in the wood. But I'm not going to get much closer, because this part here is really slanted. I think we've already seen everything on this floor, but I noticed that the stairs go up one more floor. I've found another photograph. It's from another wedding. It's a different wedding. Let's go to what I think is the top floor. It's great that the staircase is so well preserved. Here we already have a jacket hanging on the doorknob. Everything here is in pretty bad shape, but notice that there's still clothes around. What a mess here. Look, that seems a weaver. I'm not sure what. But that looks like an old weaver. And more food, and food everywhere. Here the floor really is terrible. I stepped on it and it moved all the way to the closet next to me. There was food everywhere. And look at the high chair, another high chair. Look at the floor. It's in very bad condition, so let's get out of here. Look, isn't that curious? And it's this detergent, Skype or Skip, that when the detergent ran out, did they give you something? Well, like ways to recycle this container and be able to do more things with it. Look, here they give you ideas. To make a bottle rack. Or to store things. And the lid is also made of cork, so it could also work as a cooler for the beach. How nice. The way things were made before, they would even tell you how to reuse them so you wouldn't end up throwing them away. Unfortunately, this building doesn't have much time left standing. It's going to collapse little by little. This part here, I don't even have to tell you. We can't step on that floor, just look. And we're going to leave it here, so if you liked the video, give it a like, and we'll see you at the next place. See you next time.